So, when you were younger, did you know what you wanted to be in life?
I didn't know what I wanted to do at all, to be honest with you guys. All I knew as a kid is that I had like a really vivid imagination. I think being in Virginia, because we didn't have as many options as someone in a bigger city, you just don't even consider the fact that you could do or be whatever you wanted to be. And that to me, that's the flaw in the system, because somehow our teachers were telling us that we could be anything we wanted to be, but it didn't resonate with me at all. I never, it's like that goes in one ear and out the other. It's like, you don't even consider it to like blow it off. It just in one ear and out the other. So I just remember always being curious, and so that's what kept me on the path of just sort of exploring, the arts, as in music and visual arts.
Yeah. So the next question is, how did you convince yourself to take that first big step to do what you wanted to do instead of what people were telling you to do?
Well, I remember being in high school for 20,000 kajillion years. When we were given the opportunity, a lot of my teachers, of course, because they weren't really well versed in like the music industry, as it was a foreign business to their area. They're like, well, make sure you get your education, and that they were right about. But they went a little bit beyond that. It went more toward the side of, and besides, that only lasts for this long or that long, and I'm up here talking to you guys right now, so it just goes to show you what curiosity could do for the individual. If you're curious, you'll keep chasing it. That's why, the mantra for Kidult is feed your curiosity.
Yeah. So, where does your inspiration come from? Fashion, music, art, everything?
Again, it's that C word. For me, I just wanted to know about different things. I wanted to know about art. I wanted to know about different, various types of music and how it affected people. And I had no idea that my band teacher, when he wanted us to play rhapsodies and concertos and overtures, and they were fun. And we played Something Is Coming, and we played Flight of the Bumblebee. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fun, but I just want to play something with like big drums, and as it was the early 90s. And he was like, I'll let you play that if you can write it out. And so it was those type of things that sort of armed me for my future, because it made my taste in music diverse. And so that's kind of like why when it comes to my inspiration, it's like I can't really say that my inspiration was exactly my own. It was kind of influenced by some of the things that was being shoved and pushed on me. Like, no, you have to know how to play this. No, you have to know how to play that. So once you get into those, those little pockets of information, and that mode of diversity, it starts to make you curious about other things.
Yeah. So, what do you do when you don't know what's next?
I think I spend 50% of my time, again, just exploring different things, to just do it because it piques my interest. But I think the other 50% of the time, I'm influenced by what I've done and how much further I want to take it. So from there, you start to build these ideas up on this side. Like, okay, because this is your right side, right? So these are the things that are like a little bit more concrete and a little bit, where it requires the vision to build. So you're more like an architect over here. Over here, you're pioneering and you're discovering. That's kind of like how it works.
Yeah. Louder? All right.
Okay.
So, what advice would you give to a kid who comes from nothing?
Well, let's define what nothing is.
Yeah.
When you say that you come from nothing, you're saying I come from nothing. Like nothing. Do you know what nothing is? Nothing is a void. Nothing is deep space with no stars. Nothing is, it's not possible for you to exist in nothing. So there's no such thing as nothing. It's all relative. So when you say, I was just explaining this to an old friend the other day who was saying, I have it so hard, it's so tough, and it's so crazy, and, I don't have anything. Well, sure you do. You have the same things that Bill Gates has. Because just like him, when he dies, you know what you're going to take with you? That's exactly right. So while the apartment may smell funny, while there may be pests and rodents, because that's what people generally relate to nothing, right? Come from nothing. And the car is a Hyundai, if there is a car. Or there's bus tickets, or train and free lunch. Nothing, right? It's not true. Imagine the people who live out in remote villages that have never heard of the iPod. But they're happy. And they would argue with you when you tell them that they have nothing. Nothing is a perception. So if your reality is merely just your perception and a perspective, these things are interchangeable. So first, you need to, when you say you come from nothing, you should probably reevaluate that and think about it. Because if you're not cancer-stricken and you don't have AIDS and you have your legs and your fingers, I'd say you have a bigger chance as you have a huge advantage over people who are amputees who are really doing good in life, and people who have had AIDS for 10 years who are really succeeding, and people who have cancer that are fighting every day, but still they are working at the things that they love to do in life. I would say you have a little bit more than what you thought was nothing.
It's true. So what should you tell yourself when you failed at something or something didn't go the way you thought it would?
We all have egos, and it's okay to have a sense of self-awareness and identity, but it's not okay to have an ego, because what an ego does is, the ego is a funny entity within the human brain. It is on your side when you are doing great. But have you ever noticed when you think you failed, it's the ego in your mind that tells you it's so bad. Everyone's looking at you. You start to sweat across your forehead, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. The whole entire world is watching. And none of it is true. When you're doing great, you shouldn't listen to that voice. When you're not doing as great, you shouldn't listen to that voice, because it's not good. When you're doing great, it's going to get you hooked on that feeling, so that when you come down, because life is a roller coaster. There's valleys and peaks. When you hit that valley, if you can't deal, then you won't make it. So for me, I would say, first off, get rid of the ego. And then I would switch the word failure for lesson. It's like we've put together, well, not we, actually, Mimi Valdez and her team have put together this conference. And this is our first attempt, but we couldn't help but get you guys in the room because we didn't want to waste any more time. We got like 500 kids here that are going to go out and make a huge difference as soon as they leave this place, hopefully. But you know what? We took a risk because there are cracks and there are holes, and that's not failure. It's useful information for the future. All successful corporations do that. It's called R&D. So you don't have failures. You have research and development. So you just have to change your perspective. There's no such thing as a failure.
It's so funny, we get so caught up in so many other things as human beings, and sometimes we forget the simple things in life. Those simple things in life get overlooked. And so
man. You shouldn't run away from the industry, but what you should definitely do is work on your education and have a backup plan. So if it doesn't work out, you're good. You still have a second industry that you work in that you really like. You're not worried, like, okay, this didn't work, but I have a B, C, and a D plan. Have B, C, and D plans. Now, the last gentleman was right too, because you want to be better than everybody else. I mean, at this day and age, I mean, people are singing with their feet. I mean, YouTube has proven it. You're just seeing the craziest things that you've ever seen in your whole life. And it's not that the world has changed, it's just that there's more coverage and more ways to see things than ever. So that means that it heightens the competition for you. So you want to be able to sing all different kinds of music, and at the same time being true to yourself and the kind of music that you want to make and who you think you are as an artist. I know that's a tough bill, but the chagrin, meaning the truth that you may not want to hear or I might not want to say, is that there are 6-year-olds probably doing the same thing and that are just as good. And you got to know that there's another 12-year-old that's probably got the same name, Kylie, just spelt differently. I mean, aren't we seeing that now? Like, we're seeing so many artists, like there's 20 million Nicoles, you know, there's 20 million Annas, and you just have to expect that someone's, you know, right behind you waiting for you to stumble and fall. So be on it. Practice all the time. And if you're a singer, don't be afraid to have a coach. The best singers that you know and love, you know, they have trainers and coaches. I mean, think about it like gymnastics, right? You watch the Olympics. I know I'm a little long-winded, but I just want to offer you what I can offer you. You know, but think about it like the Olympics, right? When you see someone doing the craziest, you know, choreography that you've ever seen in your life on the, you know, on the balance bars or the balancing beam, I don't know what you call it, but whatever it is, they're doing all this stuff, and it, you know, it's the craziest, most crazy, you know, routine you've seen in your life, right? You're thinking to yourself, wow, you know, how many people are involved in that process? That person probably has a team of 10 to 20, and one of them is a coach. And your larynx and your esophagus is a muscle. It has to be trained, and you have to treat it like that. You have to warm up, you have to exercise every day, and you have to have somebody in there that is far better than you are, teaching you and pushing you further than you would on your own. Because it's cool to be a rough diamond, but let me tell you something. The minute that you get to 47th Street, reality kicks in. There are brand new sliced and diced diamonds that are, you know, D-class, and that's what you want to be. You want to be the best. You want to be internally flawless. That should be your aim, along with getting an education.
And my biggest thing now, my biggest campaign is like, I have to show these kids that they can do it too.
Yeah.
It's real though, it's real. And I really mean this for my fans, man. Should I mention the fact that transition was the track? No incision to my visions just to get me where I'm at. That mean I didn't compromise. I stayed me for you. I stayed me for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want kids to know, it don't matter. You can do whatever it is you want to do, man. You want to make beats, just work at it. You want to rap, just work at it. You want to play keys, just work at it. You want to sing, work at it. You want to flip burgers, you want to be a computer tech, you want to strip, you want to be a hoe, you want to be a pastor, you want to be a teacher, you want to be an evangelist, you want to be, you know, an astronaut, you want to work at BBC Radio, you want to intern for Tim Westwood.
Exactly. We're looking right now.
And I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to act like I'm super cool, but I'm happy, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy. I'm doing this for all the kids that didn't think that it could happen, but it could happen. You know, wealth is of the heart and the mind and not of the pocket. And I say that because everybody that's a billionaire made it by either, you know, by the means of their thoughts, the byproducts of the byproduct of what it is that they think, and turned it into business, or, you know, they're heir of a rich family. But to which point, like, you know, somebody thought of something.
Yeah.
Right? And it manifests itself into a business to where they could make some money. But I don't think that you should need money to validate your wealth on the inside. As long as you're smart and you educated, you have the same ability to be a billionaire, trillionaire, anything else. You don't need money to validate that. All you need is wealth of intelligence. That's all I'm saying. Yes, sir.
You've seen a lot of industry bullshit in your time, man. I mean, what's your take on the industry?
You just gotta do what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nothing don't let nothing throw you off. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody, you know, focus on your work and squint at success. Don't be worried about like what it's gonna be. Just focus on your work, man. And every once in a while, look over your shoulder and see how far you come. Yes, sir.
I mean, there is so much nonsense in this industry, man. You know, like cats can get mad egos and say mad crazy things, and like you don't keep focused, man. Like sometimes that shit can really catch you out.
Sometimes, but you can't let it. You can't. You can't. You just gotta stay focused, man. You gotta stay focused, man. 100%. That's one of the truest statements ever. You know, you wouldn't be like, you know, one of the illest DJs around the world right now if you didn't stay focused.
Exactly, man.
And be one of the best that ever done it. You know what I mean?
Thank you, sir.
Like niggas can't do what you do, niggas can't do what I do, man.
I mean,
And you know what? To the listeners, whoever's listening right now, they can't do what you do. Get your focus up, man. You got it, cock it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do nothing with it, don't aim it. It's not worth it, man. Get your mind together, man. Get your mind together. Get your focus for what it is that you want to do together, man. Figure out where you are, figure out where you want to be, and then figure out the distance, man. It's the distance. That's the difference between them and you. Know why? Because them, they not worried about it, and that's why they still where they at. And you worried about how to get there, and that's why I'm gonna see you right on the other side, G. If I can make it over here to London, you can make it to the moon. That's some real shit there.
yeah, man. Feeling on that, man.
Yeah.
Damn, this was definitely a defining moment, man.
Thank you, sir. Never in a million years, I imagine I get my thrills from listening to the squeals of the PJ wheels, private jet. As we land, I duck down and stick my head up, my and sucked down by a bitch named What Now? Opportunity. But I look in her eyes, and her eyes are like foreign stars. Look at the reflection of my foreign car, the R&R. I stick my feet out. You know the babes that's made it ill. You know the new with Nego face right on the hill. But I was in marching band. I was a skateboarder. Jesus made wine. I couldn't make water. Oxymoronic, I'm here to destroy all you hate hoarders. You was cool in school, but now you take orders. I'm not dissing your job, but now you listen and nod. Somehow the limit. I know this position is odd, but don't gasp for air, because you could turn blue. Look, excel. Trust me, you can do it too. See, it's like that's where I am now. I never thought in a million years I could do that. But I was in marching band. I was a skateboarder. You know what I'm saying? And it's oxymoronic, because now I'm here to destroy all you hate hoarders, or everybody that just holds on to hate. And them dudes was cool in school, but now those dudes take orders. And I'm not dissing the jobs, but now they listen and nod. And I know that's some outer limit. I know that position is odd. Because they didn't think that, neither did I. But instead of on them, don't hold your breath, because you could turn blue. Trust me, you can excel and you could do it too. And I'm planning these things till I die, when the Holy Father handed me my wings. When I was young, the teacher couldn't stand when we dream. But giving me music is like drugs in the hand of a fiend. They shoot it up, because that's real. Like, really, where I was from, the teacher couldn't stand when you dream. I think everybody hears things in their head. I mean, people hear conversations, people hear ideas, and also the kind of person you are. Like, there are three kinds of people in the world. They're like people who are visual, people who are kinesthetic, people who are auditory. People who are auditory say, yeah, I hear in my head this, I hear that. Or when they're talking to you, they go, you know what? I hear what you're saying. And you know, when you say it like that, like, it really registers and I hear you loud and clear. Visual people go, yo, I see what you're saying. I mean, you know what? Well, no, I picture it like this. Kinesthetic people go, I feel you. But you know what my gut tells me? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like depends on what kind of person you are, but I feel in my heart that everybody's like that. My thing is, I don't want anybody to think that I have something that's more phenomenal than anybody else. It's just that I've honed in on something and cultivated it like for a very long time and sort of just really worked at it. And it pays off. I don't want to like demystify myself, but at the same time, I like for people to know that like I have a tangible personality. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes when you read like interviews, artists go, I don't know. And sometimes it just something happens and I just, you know, so depressed. Right? Everybody's depressed. Like, I'm just going through a change in my life right now and I'm just so upset. I hate the world. I don't want to live. Could you pass the keys to my Mercedes?
I'm Christian, but you know what? I think that everybody worships God in a different way, and I'm not here to say that my way is the only way. I'm here to say that my way is right for me, and it could be right for you, but if it isn't, that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy music together. That doesn't mean that we can't have fun under the sun together.
You know, the money is something that comes along with the job when there's some demand, but that's not the most important part of like what it is that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't continue to spread that message. I think that like videos, they confuse kids and they send this message out that it's really about like the glorification of like material items, you know, cars, houses, and I'm gonna tell you, like, for a person that has all that shit, it's not the most important part. The most important part is that I'm living, and that God has given me a talent, and I have the ability every day, whether people hear it or not, to go in and create a song. And that's like something that you can't replace. You know what I mean? Like, making a new track is still like, I'm still feeling a euphoria every time. So to me, it's kind of like, you know, being on the back of my bus, making beats, like that shit is like, especially when it's something that I'm loving, like it gets no better than that. You know, all the Rolls Royces in the world, no matter, I don't give a fuck if they come out with the technology to fly, it's never going to be able to fuck with like a new beat that I have for somebody or a new song that I have for somebody. Learn. I appreciate all the accolades that I've gotten since, you know, we've been in this business for like 12 years, but I'm telling you right now, more than anything else, you know, forget everything that they've ever said about us that has been like nice and like mind-blowing and overwhelming. The Grammy, like all that shit. More than anything else, I am a student still to this day, and, you know, I'm going on 31. When I'm 51, I'll still be a student. I'll be a student till I die, because music is that incredible. And if you want to feel what I feel, join class now, learn what you can, and fucking shred the world. It's yours. And take over, man. Just know that, like, I always tell you, you could do it too. You can have whatever it is you want. Go out there and get it. Yes, sir.
What is your fascination with space?
You know what it is? I'm a big-ass kid. If you can't tell. I am a fucking child.
How do you stay childlike?
I don't stay childlike. That's just who I am. I'm Peter Pan.